From the Shawnee Middle School Gym in Easton, RCN Sports presents the District 11 Class 2A Boys Championship. It will feature the Falcons of Salisbury with an overall record of 15-9, taking on the Crusaders of Notre Dame. Their overall record is 20-4. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Chris Michael along with Dennis Lobb. Glad you could join us for live high school basketball action on RCN. Going to be a tough act to follow. A thrilling Liberty win right before the buzzer with 2.5 seconds left, but Notre Dame and Salisbury eagerly looking for a district championship tonight.
No question, there's hardware on the line. And both of these teams want to represent the Colonial League, and both of these teams want to come out and get this gold medal. Notre Dame has been doing it in the odd years, and here we are as an odd year. So they would be the favorites since they beat Salisbury twice in the regular season, once by 10 in December and by 11 in January.
And we'll be back to talk more in depth about both Salisbury and Notre Dame. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip as Salisbury and Notre Dame playing for District 11 championship action next on RCN Sports.
Hey, basketball fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus for the fabulous GE tip-off sale. Browse our huge selection of GE ranges, GE refrigerators, GE dishwashers, GE washers, and GE dryers. Now at Kleckner's, get great savings plus free delivery, free haul away of old, a full parts department and their own factory-trained techs. Stop in today. See why Kleckner's has been serving the Lehigh Valley since 1945. Two locations, Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Since the Overhead Door Company makes the original overhead door, the people who install and service them take them pretty seriously. Call or log on for the overhead door dealer nearest you.
He doesn't report to a management committee. He doesn't report to a marketing department. He reports to Mary Johnson's arthritis, to Sally Wickstrom's upset stomach, and to Greg Porter's poison oak. He's your family prescription center pharmacist. He lives and works right here in town, so that means he reports to you. Call Family Prescription Center today at 866-0709.
Taking the time to care, Family Prescription Center.
Welcome back once again to Easton. Salisbury's a team that we haven't really seen a whole lot of this year and haven't really talked about them a whole lot. They started off the year very well under first-year head coach Jason Weaver and very quietly went about their business in the Colonial League. Weren't one of the top 3 or 4 teams, but just had a very solid season, pulled off a few upsets down the stretch. And right now they are looking for a district championship under a first-year head coach.
They lost twice during the regular season to Catasauqua and then went and dumped them in the districts. So they're looking for a repeat performance today. Who they lost twice to Notre Dame, they're looking to nip them in the final. They do have really good guards, though, Chris, led by Tommy Bonser.
Take a look at the Salisbury starting lineup along with Tommy Bonser. They got the big guy Chris Yule up front, 6'6". He's averaging close to 12 points a ball game and over 9 rebounds per ball game. Drew DePoy will also get the start. Jason Weaver was keeping it up in the air whether he would start Drew or Tyree McDuffie, who he alternates at the 4 spot on the floor, but Drew will get the call. And now we'll take a look at the Notre Dame starting lineup. The Hat Boils really had to mix and match the last few weeks because of the flu bug that went around and then some injuries down the stretch run.
Yes, they're putting Bart Palumbo and Blair Rossetto in there to replace 2 injuries. One main injury, Andrew Kohler, and the other with some illness and injury, Andrew Mitzak. Although both of those guys are going to play pretty much in a ball game. Palumbo gives them that physical presence. Rossetto handles things on the point, giving Hughes a little break from the primary ball handling duties.
And ironically enough, both Palumbo and Rossetto missed time earlier before the playoffs commenced because Palumbo had a back injury, Rossetto had a sinus infection, and so now they come back on to replace Kohler, who injured his ankle in the last regular season game against Wilson. And then Mitzak, who came down with an illness in that final week of the regular season.
The big injury was Kohler, because that ankle really, he was playing so well, Chris, and to have him off his feet at that point of the season after playing so well, it was a big blow to Notre Dame.
And I know I've talked about this for years, but it benefits a team when you give the guys that work hard in practice some time in real minutes. As Pat Boyle did early on, he had the 5 freshmen. He utilized a lot of people off his bench. And then when it got to be late in the season, and he's had the injuries, he had the sicknesses, and then you get some guys that go into foul trouble, you can bring guys in that aren't cold when it comes to pressure situations and ask them to perform.
Yeah, he's a lot more democratic than I ever was, or any of the teams that I helped coach, where we only played a couple guys. He implements and utilizes a lot of players.
Now the announced starting lineups here at the Shawnee Middle School gym. First out, Tommy Bonser, 5'10", senior guard, averaging a team high 13.2 points a ball game. Next out, number 10, Kyle Leonard, 5'8", senior guard, averaging 7.6. Number 12 is Sean Roth, 6-foot senior forward, averaging 6.6. At the other forward spot, Drew DePoy, 6'2" senior, whereas number 22 averages 2.4 a ball game. And their man in the middle, Chris Ewell, 6'6" senior, averaging 11.7 a ball game. Jason Weaver, his first year with Salisbury, he was 18-30 as head coach up in Lee Heights. Of course, 15-9 with the Falcons. And now for the Notre Dame Crusaders, the number 1 seed. Coming in with an overall record of 20-4, finished second in the East Division to Wilson on a loss to the Warriors on the final day of the regular season. First out is Joe Giangiobi, 6'3", junior center, averaging 12.4 points a ball game. Next out, number 10, Bart Palumbo, 6'2", senior forward, averaging 3.4. Blair Rossetto at the point, 5'10", junior, whereas number 14, he's averaging 2.7 points a ball game. At the other guard position, number 32, Max Hughes, 6'1", senior, averaging a team high 14.3. And the other forward, number 42, Nick Piazza, 6'2", senior, averaging 4.4 a ball game. Pat Boyle in his 13th season at the helm of the Crusaders, 249 wins, 108 losses.
Officiating this 2A championship is on your left, Ed Clark. In the middle, Ron Singer. And on your right, Pat Patrone.
Pat Boyle hoping for more minutes out of Andrew Mitzak and Andrew Kohler, who did play sparingly in the semifinal win over Schuylkill Haven, a 57-40 victory. They won that game after a 2-week layoff, after they lost the semifinal round of the Colonial League playoff. Ready to go. Opening tip is up and is won by Salisbury. And a timeout called. Notre Dame gets the possession and calls for a timeout. 5 seconds into the ball game. We'll take a break and be back with more in just a moment.
As a woman, the health issues you face will change over a lifetime. Whether you're an expectant mother, caring for a family member, or battling osteoporosis, fast, accurate information is vital in making the best decision. RMRI of Bethlehem is a recognized leader in imaging with radiologists and technologists that make you feel confident, knowing privacy is guaranteed and results will see to your doctor right away. Radiology and MRI of Bethlehem.
Just 5 seconds in and we already have some controversy. Officials talking it over if Notre Dame had possession. And if not, it's a jump ball, and that would affect the possession arrow for future calls.
There's no question about it. And now Salisbury will get the possession arrow. Notre Dame will get the ball.
And Notre Dame charged a timeout. Crusaders with a basketball. Giangiobi bringing it up. Jason Weaver not happy about the matchup. because Giangiobi, with his outside shooting ability, hits one here right off the bat. Giangiobi only has 5 3-pointers this year, and Jason Weaver said in both games he's been deadly from beyond the arc with key 3-pointers down the stretch run that has given Notre Dame 2 victories. And Salisbury turns it over.
Early turnover by Bonser. The matchup, Giangiobi, they're covering him with the very tall Chris Ewell. And that is a problem if Giangiobi's going to go perimeter. We've only seen him, Chris, in the paint.
Piazza around the horn to Blair Rossetto. When we talked to Jason Weaver a couple days ago, that was the first thing he said. I'm worried about Giangiobi's 3-point ability. I looked at the stat sheet, and he only had 5, but he said he has really hurt us with some key 3-pointers in both ball games. Giangiobi getting the offensive rebound and draws the contact. First foul of the ball game. Will be against the Falcons.
That's what I'd be worried about, Chris. The offensive boards, the defensive boards that Giangiobi gives you. And right there, he gives you an offensive board, and he gets fouled.
Ross commits the foul. Giangiobi, a 64% free throw shooter. The team also 64% from the free throw line. A look at Pat Boyle, looking for another Notre Dame district championship. I can't tell you how many because that's part of the R&J Carpet trivia question. I'll tell you that in a little bit. Bonser racing up court, counts the basket, and he'll go to the line for one more.
The first team All-Colonial League and via All-Star wasn't going to be denied that time. He gets by Piazza and goes and gets fouled by Hughes.
Bonser 60% from the line this year. We asked Jason Weaver, what was it like coming in? A lot of seniors on this team, and yet you came in and had some instant success. And he said the players, first off, were very mature about everything, willing to learn, and they've really grown together as a team throughout this past year.
They get a foul on Chris Ewell going to the basketball and trying to rip it out of Palumbo's hands. And that is one that Jason Weaver doesn't want to see early.
The basket, shot was blocked. Ewell comes away with it.
Very big guy. I saw him last night over in Northampton, and he is a big individual.
Kyle Leonard, who's averaging 15 points a ball game the last 5 games for Salisbury, scores his first 2.
Talk about a guy coming on. You're talking about senior Kyle Leonard in the backcourt.
He did not score in the first meeting between Salisbury and Notre Dame. Scoreboard chased down by Drew DePoy. Ewell against a triple team. Doesn't get the roll. Offensive rebound by Roth, and the putback is good. Chris Ewell in the season shot over 60% from the floor. Misses his first opportunity, but Roth with a putback. But Salisbury up by 3, and a traveling violation on Palumbo will give the ball back to the Falcons.
Well, Ewell draws a crowd, and that time he drew Roth's defender over, and that's where Roth was wide open on the opposite end to get that board. Here's a matchup, Chris. Bonser being covered by the shutdown specialist in Notre Dame, Nick Piazza.
Shot by DePoy, no good. Foul on the floor after the shot. Second one against the Crusaders. And it will be on Palumbo, his first. Salisbury averaging 56 points a ball game offensively. They allow 49 on defense. Notre Dame averages 60 on offense, 51 on defense. Dave Salerno checks in along with Andrew Mitzak and Andrew Kohler for Notre Dame. Quick basket inside by Chris Ewell, his first field goal.
Nice Nice out-of-bounds play, the old screen the screener, and Ewell gets open and finishes.
Now it's Giangiobi taking it to the rack, missing the layup. Roth goes down, but gets rid of the basketball. Reverse layup good by Sean Roth, who has a pair of field goals. He had 16 points in the first meeting between Salisbury and Notre Dame. Giangiobi back to Midsack. Down the lane. Nice little dump-off pass to Dave Salerno. We're used to seeing him shoot from the outside, but he gets an easy deuce in tight to the hoop.
I was going to say, that was probably the closest shot that Dave Salerno made all season long.
Ball comes loose, stolen by Midsack. And a reach-in foul on Salisbury, their third. DeBoy picking up his first. Not only
Midsack making an immediate impact. He's the leading steal guy on Notre Dame's team.
Hughes can't get free off the screen. Salerno for three. Rebound. Chased down by Bonser. In transition, shot was blocked by Giangiobi. Salisbury will have it back underneath their own basket. Question I was going to ask you, Dennis, is how do you approach that as a coach? Because you have three guys that are key to your ball club, and obviously they're not at 100%, so you can't really practice the way you'd like to as well.
It definitely affects things. But the big thing that Pat does is he implements so many people.
Roman Duffy checks into the ball game. Followed by Giangiobi is up and in his second basket. And Salisbury's lead at 3. Ewell from the baseline. And a foul after the shot. It's on Ewell, his second.
Get a look at the shot from Ewell, and he goes in there and they catch him for reaching in on the ball, and they feel he got a part of Kohler's hand.
He will take a seat on the bench. DeBoy back in for the Falcons. Hughes. Inside Giangiobi, doesn't like the view. The kick out for Salerno for 2. Gets his own rebound. And Bonser chases it down in the corner. It almost got horse collar.
Illegal in football, by the way, in high school.
Not in
Basketball, it's acceptable.
Shot was blocked by Giangiobi, his second block. Salerno running the break. And the Falcons bring it back on a 2-on-2. Bonser ends it home for his second field goal.
He's smooth. The first look at him, and I can see why he gets the accolades he does.
Foul on the way up. 5th foul on Salisbury. Second one on Roth.
Get a look at arguably an over the top on Giangiobi. They both go for it. It goes to Kohler. He catch and takes it hard and gets fouled.
Kohler is 67% free throw shooter. All right, don't hold us in suspense anymore. What did Dick Tracy say to you after seeing one team shoot 4 for 12 from the free throw line? Or can you say that on the air? Is that back in for Notre Dame?
Ask that question at 3 o'clock.
second one for Kohler is good. Piazza also back in for the Crusaders. Sponsor with the basketball. Ball comes loose. Back to Vonser. Magic number for Salisbury this year has been 60 points. They are 9-0, and they score more than 60 this year.
When you take Ewell out of their lineup, though, their height is non-existent.
Ball's chased down by Mitzak. Got hacked. Ball out to Mitzak. And McDuffie reels it in. Final 40 seconds of the opening period. Leonard working against Salerno. And now Salisbury will play for the final shot. Dennis said Salisbury defeated Caddy after the Rough Riders beat the Falcons twice during the regular season. It was the 5th consecutive postseason victory for Salisbury over Catasauqua. McDuffie gets tied up. Kohler comes away with the basketball. And it steps on the sideline to turn it back over to the Falcons.
I was ready to take the charge for you, Chris. Didn't need to.
Final 10 seconds. Leonard, tough shot, gets it to go. His second field goal. And Salisbury, at the end of one quarter, leads 14-8. Tommy Bonser with 4 for the Falcons. Salisbury leading by 6 after 1.
Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy has been making life easier for you, the name you trust most when you need your prescription filled. That's because getting your prescription right is our #1 priority, and only Walters Pharmacy delivers anywhere in Allentown for free. Our wide selection of health products and mobile equipment, as well as our convenient hours, make Walters Pharmacy the fast and convenient choice.
I went to Walters Pharmacy, and they were able to supply all of my child's needed medications.
I call Walters Pharmacy for all my prescriptions and healthcare items and have them delivered to my door.
Walters Pharmacy in Allentown. Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty's sole mission is unprecedented real estate service. With an undying commitment to quality, Mark Mulchaney provides you professionalism, outstanding service, wealth of knowledge, experience, and reliability. Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty, the power to move you. 610-433-6600 or on the web at powerrealtyhomes.com.
Salisbury with the basketball, leading by 6 to start the second quarter. And another timeout called as Kyle Leonard got tied up in the corner. 12 seconds into the second quarter, Salisbury is still up by 6.
Smart timeout there. I mean, when you're in that trap situation, you don't want to start the quarter out with a turnover. Kyle smartly calls the quick timeout.
I mentioned that game against Catasauqua for Salisbury. Some of their numbers. Bonser was the leading scorer with 19 points. 14 of his points came in the second half, including scoring 12 of Liberty's last 15 points. Leonard paced the Falcons in the first half, scoring 13 of his 14 points in the first half. He also out-rebounded Caddy by 13 on the boards and shot 47%, with 9 of 16 from the free throw line. Lister that time was tiptoeing one of the 3 lines at midcourt. That has gotten in the heads of a few of the opposing teams that have come in here. There's actually 3 lines. Both teams exchanging turnovers, jump ball called, and Notre Dame will have it back on the possession arrow. There's 3 lines at the center court, and a lot of times when you have that backcourt pass or pass near the backcourt, we see people tiptoeing along one of the lines, and In this case, the white one and then the red one in the center circle is the one you have to watch for backcourt violation.
It definitely is confusing, and I was looking at it.
Ball comes loose. Salisbury forces another turnover. Monster backing up. He does lead the team with 26 three-pointers this year. Instead, it's Leonard down the lane. One more pass, and took too many steps before delivering the pass. And the Falcons turn it right back to Notre Dame. Fifth turnover on the Falcons. Rosetto brings the ball up for Notre Dame. Kohler, Mitzak, Giangiobi, and Mitzak. Pick that Piazza, the fifth player on the floor for Notre Dame. Giangiobi draws the double. Back to Kohler for three. Got it. Andrew Kohler's first three-pointer of the ball game. His 14th of the season. Now Leonard draws contact at the top of the key. Piazza picking up his first foul. And the team's second.
That's a battle. We're going to watch all afternoon. Those two guys going after each other.
Central Catholic and Bangor girls coming up next on RCN Sports. McDuffie in the corner fights his way out of it before passing over to Bonser. The pass stolen by Hughes. Does not have the numbers, but hits it from just inside the free throw line. First field goal for Max Hughes.
That's usually where Hughes is at his best. In transition, does such a good job of pulling up and nailing shots.
And now Drew DePoy goes to the bench, walking on an injured ankle, it looks like. I got stepped on at the end of the play, but they already have Chris Ewell and Sean Roth with 2 fouls each. Sean Baker checks in, 6'2" sophomore guard. He's really been playing well of late. Jason Weaver had some high praise for him as Bonser's shot was blocked by Kohler. Baker's been getting more minutes lately. He's been averaging 6 or 7 points a ball game the last month. Reach-in foul called on Salisbury as Giangiobi was instantly double-teamed. Baker picking up his first foul. 16th foul on Salisbury.
Yule comes back in the ball game with his 2 fouls.
Kohler for three. McDuffie the rebound. Leonard looking for Baker. Ball was tipped away. And Salisbury will have it back. The initial call was Notre Dame ball, but I think that was the right call.
We get a look at this here. Off.
Just poked away.
Yes, that definitely was a good call. It was off Notre Dame.
And before Coach Tracy comes back to sit next to us, we will give the officials some credit for that. He usually hits me when I say that. Hughes gets the rebound. Mitzak thought about the three. Now Giangiobi for the triple. And stepping on the baseline with Sean Baker. Notre Dame will have it back. Actually, he was beating you up before the game, too. That's why I want to know what was actually said, because all I saw was punches being thrown between the two.
Sworn to secrecy. It's a color commentator code we have to follow.
Leonard bringing the ball up for Salisbury, leading by 1. Salisbury jumped out to an early 6-3 lead. Notre Dame has not had a look at the lead since. Notre Dame right now on a 5-0 run. Ewell breaks that with his second field goal. Ewell now 2 of 4 from the floor. How about that pass from Mitzak to Giangiobi? And Giangiobi to the line to shoot two.
That's one that you really don't practice. I mean, you call it a pass, I call it a shot.
Notre Dame right now is 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Sean Roth with 2 fouls back into the ballgame for Salisbury. He replaces McDuffie. One of 2 for Giangiobi. He now has 6 to lead Notre Dame. Salisbury with the basketball, leading by 2. Stolen by Hughes, and Giangiobi can't hang on to it.
Get a look at the effort by Hughes, and Giangiobi can't handle it on the baseline.
Leonard working against Piazza. Another tough shot in traffic. Rebound by Giangiobi. Hughes on the break, blocked by Bonser. Bonser in transition, misses the layup, the follow. And Baker will go to the line.
Baker in the right place at the right time. Get a look at the block by Bonser, and then he gets the ball right back, goes in, throws it up. Can't call a block on that. You can't call a charge on that. It's a no call, and that's what it was.
Baker 4 of 10 at the free throw line this year. Piazza picking up his second foul. Team's 4. There's a balance on this year's Salisbury team as well. Some sophomores mixing with the juniors and seniors. Baker makes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Salisbury up by 3. Giangiobi versus Ewell. Bonser with tight defense on Salerno, pokes it away and forces the turnover.
He's a real ball of fire, that Tommy Bonser. He's all over the floor. He's all over the offense. He's out there hustling on D.
Salisbury keeps the possession. Falcons playing in their first district championship since 2002. They're 9th overall, all of them at the 2A level. Baker back to Bonser for 3. It's the top of the backboard, and Notre Dame with a dead ball rebound.
Get a look at the open look by Bonser, and off the timer.
Ewell the rebound. Baker draws the contact again. 5th foul on Notre Dame.
Credit Baker. Takes it right to him, and Kohler definitely moves his arms.
Andrews' first foul. Salisbury has lost in 3 of the 4 meetings against Notre Dame in district playoff action. Twice they lost in semifinal games, and once they lost in the 93 consolation matchup. Back in 2A, had 3 spots for the state playoff. Only the 4A team Get that third berth right now in District 11. Notre Dame turns it over again.
Well, when you bring another district into play, like Philadelphia warrants District 12, and with the birth of District 1 basketball, they take away some of the spots.
Leonard, nice pass inside for Ewell. He draws the contact. I believe it's going to be on Kohler, and if it is, it's Kohler's second.
Leonard, extremely quick off the dribble. He beats a defender again, draws another one, dishes to Ewell, and Ewell goes to the foul line.
And the foul is actually on Hughes, his second. Team sixth. And Hughes will take a seat on the bench, replaced by Rossetto. Bart Palumbo also in to replace Andrew Mitzak. Ewell, a 60% free throw shooter at the line for one more. Dennis will be available for free throw shooting clinics this summer. His home phone number.
Don't you dare give it out. My wife, Robin, will kill me.
Jeff Knappenberger has your home phone.
I'm sure, yes, he does. Number 44 for Notre Dame.
Rossetto, nice move down the lane. Ewell the rebound. And then Giangiobbe picks up the loose ball and drops in two. He now has 8. He leads Notre Dame in scoring. Salisbury with 4 players scoring 4 thus far. Ewell turnaround shot against the double team doesn't go. And Notre Dame will have it back. Another dead ball rebound for Notre Dame.
Ewell got the ball nice and deep on the block. Couldn't finish it.
Giangiobbe in the corner thought about the 3 with Ewell guarding him. Now Salerno is now 1 of 5 from the floor tonight. Salisbury gets the basketball back.
Dave claiming that it was tipped. The refs would have none of that explanation. Salisbury possession.
Final minute here in the first half. Free ball on the way, no good from Baker. Foul on the floor after the shot. Salisbury entered the quarter with a 6-point lead. Notre Dame has cut the deficit to 1 a couple of times. It has not taken the lead here in quarter number 2. Palumbo picking up his second foul. Both teams in a bonus. Back to the line.
Both teams have had their opportunities, Chris, and Salisbury could have extended some of that lead, but right here, this 15-foot mark has been a trouble, but Chris Ewell steps up and nails the first one.
Ewell, second team Colonial League member, had 10 points in the first meeting with Notre Dame, 11 the second meeting, and right now he has 5. Giangiobbe, let's see if he hoists one up. Said it's Salerno, working against Bonser. Kohler from the corner, got it. His second three-pointer, he has 7, and Notre Dame takes its first lead since early on with 30 seconds remaining.
Smartly, you put that shooter in the corner, you get some dribble penetration, you draw 2 defenders, and you got that guy sitting in the corner waiting for it. Kohler catches and drops it.
And we've seen over the course of the year, Kohler has kind of expanded his range. We mentioned just now 15 three-pointers on the season. But he always was a good perimeter shooter. Pass to Ewell, picked off. Final 2 seconds, the heave from half court is no good. A lot of threes in the first half of this ball game. 3 for Notre Dame. We'll get a look at a few of them. A final one, giving the Crusaders a 1-point lead at the half. First half numbers and highlights are straight ahead.
The Lehigh Valley loves Mezzaluna Sports Bar and Grill, with sports for fans of all shapes and sizes. Plus a huge selection of ice-cold beverages, and of course Mezzaluna's menu of great food. And with Mezzaluna's state-of-the-art sound and light system, you can catch the Valley's hottest bands and DJs, never pay a cover, and dance the night away. For great food and drink, all the sports action and the best live entertainment and never a cover, Mezzaluna Sports Bar and Grill, Airport Road, Allentown.
Your under-insulated home can cost you hundreds. Now is the time to re-insulate with Lehigh Valley Insulation. In less than a day, our experienced crew of installers will thoroughly re-insulate your home. Our new insulation is cleaner and more energy efficient than ever. Plus, it's very affordable. Enjoy seasonable comfort under a blanket of premium insulation and cut your heating and cooling costs. Make sure your home measures up. Call Lehigh Valley Insulation for a free consultation.
It's comfort that pays.
These days I leave my car at home. I ride the bus, the smart choice.
Atlanta Metro is the comfortable, fast, clean, and low-cost way to make your way around the valley.
Atlanta Metro, the smart choice.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Burke, and I'm the women's basketball coach at Moravian College. And today our skill set will be offensive moves on the pass and learning how to use our correct pivot foot. So the basic drill we're going to start with is just passing the ball back and forth, catching the ball with two hands, and stepping in with your correct pivot foot. So we have all right-hand shooters here, so they should be using their left foot as their pivot foot at all times. So it's just a basic drill. They're catching it with two hands. They're able to rip the ball and be in a good offensive position to score, to pass, or to dribble. All right? Now, as we move along, what we're going to do is we'll start with two lines. Come on, you guys. And we'll set it up that they're coming through and catching the ball, curling around and catching with your left foot as your pivot foot. So Jess is coming across that way, and she has her left foot as a pivot foot. Now we're going to switch to the other side. It's a little bit different. You got to work on catching the ball with your left foot as your pivot foot. And we have a lot of good shooters here, so they've worked on this. And you want to make sure you stay with that left foot. That's our skill session for today, catching the ball with two hands, using your left foot as a right-handed shooter, as your pivot foot coming off strong.
Let's go get Yaakov. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yaakov. With quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yaakov hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yaakov. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yaakov's, an Allentown tradition.
Welcome back to the Shawnee Middle School gym. Chris Michael and Dennis Lobb. It's halftime of the District 11 Class 2A Boys Championship game and a 19-18 ball game at the end of the first half. And Dennis, as we said early on, this was our first chance to see Salisbury, and pretty impressed by the number of athletes that they have out on the floor and what they've been able to do here against Notre Dame.
Team speed is really a big asset that they have. Plus, they have the big guy inside. They played a real exciting first half. Some things I'm sure that Jason Weaver's going to want to work on, but it's been a good tight ball game.
We'll take a look at the first half numbers brought to you by Overhead Door Company. Salisbury shooting very well from the floor at 50%. Oh, that free throw shooting for both teams.
Yeah, especially when you're shooting 9 of them, you're only putting in 2. That is so many points that you're letting out there. The big difference, though, I see is these three-point shots with Notre Dame with 3. That is what, put them ahead by 1 point. But Salisbury getting the better shots.
Now take a look at the individual numbers. As we mentioned a couple moments prior to the end of the first half, good balance for Salisbury overall. And for Notre Dame, they're led by Joe Giangiobi with 8 points. Andrew Kohler playing on the bad ankle. managing to hit a pair of threes and has 7 points overall.
Nice balance by Salisbury, getting contributions from a few. Notre Dame, led by the big two, juniors, I might add, in Giangiobi and Kohler.
We'll take a break, allow Dennis to try to track down Dick Tracy.
Why
He's missing in action.
I need Chris Zaya. He's the replay guy. I don't need Coach Tracy
we don't
right
want to bring
now.
Chris Zaya out here. We'll take a break and be back with our first half highlights, brought to you by Chris Zaya Incorporated, right after this timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
Put some color in your world with a new floor from Mohawk Color Center. We've earned our name by bringing style and beauty to some of the finest homes in the world, something Mohawk has been doing for over a century. For the greatest selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and even ceramic tile, from a name you can trust, Mohawk Color Center. Flooring made simple.
Visit R&J Carpet Connection, 922 North 3rd Street in Whitehall.
Welcome back once again to the Shawnee Middle School gym. Dennis has been working diligently during that last time out with Chris Zaya. And here we bring to you the D.E. Cressman first half highlights. Dennis?
For Notre Dame, Giangiobi, as always, working hard on the boards with a putback. He expands his game and nails a three. Nice drive, take to the hole for two. Andrew Kohler off the injury, nailing 1-3. And the second three. Mid-sack with a nice pass for Salerno's tightest bucket of the year. For Salisbury, Kyle Leonard, the speed, the quickness for a couple of buckets. Sean Roth, nice, smooth up and under basket. Here we see Tommy Bonser in transition at his finest, taking it the length of the court for two. And here, he not only can do it in the open floor, he can take it right at people and draw contact as he lands another bucket.
Notre Dame up by one. Third quarter action is next.
He doesn't report to a management committee. He doesn't report to a marketing department. He reports to Mary Johnson's arthritis, to Sally Wickstrom's upset stomach, and to Greg Porter's poison oak. He's your family prescription center pharmacist. He lives and works right here in town, so that means he reports to you. Call Family Prescription Center today at 866-0709.
Taking the time to care, Family Prescription Center.
Back once again in Easton. Don't forget, game 3 of 5 games on RCN tonight. It will be Central and Bangor hooking up for the girls 3A championship. And Lafayette College basketball as they take on American on tape delay at 5:30 tonight. Parkland versus Pocono Mountain East for the 4A boys championship. Congratulations to the Liberty Hurricanes. They won game 1. Darren Hilliard, a 3-point shot with 2.5 left on the clock after Liberty trailed the entire second half, and Liberty will move on and play in the state playoffs next week.
Great basketball game, that first one. Hopefully this one is going to come down to the wire also. That first ball game, Liberty being up 5 to start at the end of the first quarter. Then they're down 5 at half. And then it's seesawing back and forth, and there was so much tension and drama and so many timeout calls, and Darren Hilliard comes up big.
The R&J Carpet trivia question for this game: of the 10 district titles that Notre Dame has won in boys basketball, how many have come under Coach Boyle's tenure as head coach? I'll give you the answer to that in a few moments. Dennis is checking his notes, cheating as always for the trivia questions.
No, well, I'm using my resources. I was taught to use your resources, and I have the answer.
This will be the most difficult half for Dennis
I know
to
it
ever
will.
broadcast.
I know it will. I know it
His
will.
former coach is returning to sit beside him. He's giving him tips as we speak. Salisbury with the basketball to start the second half. Nice look inside for Ewell. Ewell got tied up inside with Palumbo, and now Notre Dame with the basketball. Ewell now 2 of 6 from the floor. Notre Dame with Giangiobi, Hughes, Rossetto, Piazza, and Palumbo on the floor to start the second half. Giangiobi for 2. He's now in double figures. Notre Dame up by 3. Their largest lead of the ball game.
Before long, he will be in double figures in rebounds, still.
Giangiobi a rebound. Salisbury starting their second half on the floor with their 5 starters. Rock gets the rebound off the Hughes miss. Joining Bonser, Leonard, DeFoy, and Ewell on the floor. Salisbury throws it away. And a Salisbury timeout, 6 minutes, 41 seconds left third. Notre Dame up by 3. Crusaders defeated Schuylkill Haven in the semifinal game, 57-40 after a 2-week layoff. They entered as the #1 seed, and Pat Boyle, who was on our RCN Sports Talk show a couple weeks prior to the district playoffs commencing, and he said he really wanted the #1 position because, one, even though you had a 2-week layoff, by getting the #1 spot, it forces Salisbury and Catasauqua, 2 very good teams this year, to have to battle it out each other out. And no offense to Schuylkill Haven, but he got the winner of that ball game and only had to play one Lehigh Valley team to get a district championship.
He wanted to see somebody else rather than those Colonial teams. I'll take them in the final, but let them have to punish each other before they get to me in the final.
And it was a very physical and emotional win for Salisbury. Notre Dame with the basketball. Max Hughes directing traffic. Giangiobi wants it now.
Motion offense employed by Pat Boyle and Notre Dame.
2 players going down. It's an offensive foul against Notre Dame. We had a ton of fouls away from the basketball in the Liberty-Stroudsburg game.
You'll see in the bottom of the corner, Bart Palumbo just hooks him big time with an elbow and knocks Drew DePoy to the ground right in front of the referee. Offensive foul, turnover, Notre Dame.
Palumbo picking up his 3rd foul, only player for either side with 3 personal. Leonard down the shoot. Ewell got tied up for the rebound, and Notre Dame will have it back on the possession arrow. Tonight for the Parkland Pocono Mountain East, Gary Laubach and Dick Tracy will be calling it. I believe it's upwards of 20 years they've called the 4A or largest classification boys championship. As Giangiobi gets fouled inside.
It'll be the 3rd on either one of those. They call it on Ewell, his 3rd.
Giangiobi back to the line for 2 more. Second made free throw for Notre Dame. Giangiobi now with 11 to lead all scorers. And he makes 2 of 2. On a steal, Hughes leading the break. And a rebound by Leonard. Good hustle play there by Rossetto. And it was last touched by Bonser, so Notre Dame will have it back. Salisbury would have had an advantage at this end of the court. Rossetto not only breaks up the play, but gets back the possession.
Get a look at the miss and the resulting turnover. Definitely off Bonser.
Notre Dame with the basketball. Salisbury pushes the ball out of bounds. Andrew Kohler checks back into the ball game. And Notre Dame will have it underneath their own hoop. Giangiobi all by himself, top of the circle. Now Joe for three. Bonser inside, misses the layup. And Notre Dame will have the basketball.
I would think Notre Dame should at some point in time now get the ball inside to Giangiobi and try to pick up that fourth foul on Ewell. Because without him inside, Salisbury truly is really lacking in height.
Giangiobi now 4 of 7 from the floor. Whistle and another foul on Salisbury. Again on Bonser. That's his second, team second.
Tried for that reach around, trying to strip the ball, and Papatrone in position makes the call.
Giangiobi faked the three. Now Piazza for two. And Bonser pulls it down for the Falcons. Giangiobi off the missed three. With the block, he's also last to touch, and Notre Dame will have it back.
But I credit Rossetto for going after him. You have to try to draw it to get him out of the ballgame and lengthen this lead.
By Ray McDuffie back in for Salisbury. Kohler, who has made 2 3-pointers tonight, gives it to Giangiobi. His shot was blocked by Ewell, who gets rid of it before falling out of bounds. 5-point ball game. McDuffie for 3. Kohler the rebound inside. Hughes. Still a 5-point ball game.
Both teams getting some good cracks, but nothing going.
Salerno will check in for Notre Dame along with Andrew Mitzak. And Salisbury will call a timeout. 3 minutes, 13 seconds left, third. 23-18 the score, and time to answer the R&J Carpet trivia question. Of the 10 district titles that Notre Dame has won in boys basketball, how many have come under Coach Pat Boyle's tenure? There have been 3 championships. In fact, Pat is 3 for 3, winning in 2003, 2005, and 2007.
I used that in my pregame. I said he won in the odd years, so this being an odd year, he is due for one, so we'll see what happens. They have the lead here.
Now, I said a few moments ago that Gary and Dick have been doing this for, what, five decades now? Something like that. And yet, Coach Tracy still doesn't get some basic concepts here. He keeps feeding chocolates to Dennis. You can't eat and broadcast at the same time.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm putting it. He's trying to, you know.
We need a camera on these. Coach Tracy and Dennis over here. It's a nice little sideshow to our championship game. Ball poked away by Notre Dame. Last touch by Salisbury. And the Crusaders will have it back. Notre Dame took a 1-point lead at halftime. And right now, they're on a 7-1 run, going back to the closing minutes of the first half. Yule another rebound, and a reach-around foul on Giangiobi. That's just his first, but still not a foul you want your big guy to commit.
No, not that far away from the bucket. But, you know, the aggressiveness is something good to have. Notre Dame bringing up some full court now. Man full.
Salisbury looking for its first points here in the second half. Sponsor down the hole. Yule, the second effort, gets his third field goal of the night. And Salisbury back within 3. Yule now with 7 points.
He also picked up his 10th rebound of the game.
Giangiobi for 3. Sponsor the rebound. Yule didn't anticipate that ball coming and took too many steps.
Well, you know what happened, Chris. He didn't see, I couldn't see who it was coming down on the left side of the basket. And he thought the pass was intended for him, but it really wasn't. It was supposed to go by him.
Your vision was blocked by all these Hershey kisses being thrown at us.
Put him in my pocket for the ride home.
Mid-sack. Hughes gets it back. Now Giangiobi in tight, kicks it back out to Salerno. And Notre Dame will reset. 1:45 left third. Nice passing for Hughes. McDuffie saves it to Bonser. Good heads-up play by the Falcons. Midsack reaching in. And they're going to get him for a foul as Bonser goes down hard.
Get a look at McDuffie saving the ball. Bonser in the open floor, and there's Midsack. 4 fouling 4. Possession Salisbury.
First foul on Midsack as Giangiobi checks out and is replaced by Nick Piazza. Midsack still not at 100%. Jewell now has 9 points. Salisbury back within 1. Piazza against Yule. Pass is knocked away, last touch by Bonser. And Sean Roth back into the ball game at 4 points in the first half before picking up 2 fouls. Yule to the bench with 3 fouls.
Smart substitution by Jason Weaver for the last minute. Get the big guy a rest and protect him.
Max Hughes, his second field goal of the ball game. Salisbury 11 and 13 last year with a lot of people coming back. McDuffie, his shot was blocked. Kohler and Piazza both there. Second look no good. Kohler the rebound. And Notre Dame will play for the final shot here in the third quarter. Timeout called by Notre Dame. Chris Yule scoring both Salisbury's field goals here in the third quarter as Notre Dame has extended its lead here in quarter number 3 to 25 to 22. We invite you to tune in for RCN Sports Talk Thursdays at 6 p.m. On our next program, we'll recap the district championship games and preview our local teams in the state playoffs. RCN Sports Director Gary Laubach and Express Times sports writer Tom Hinkle. On March 12th, our panel will include North Penn head coach and former Whitehall Central coach Ron Hassler, assistant Bob Gilbert, and RCN's own Dennis Laub. Don't forget, RCN Sports Talk continues after basketball season concludes with guests like Phillies broadcaster Tom McCarthy, members of the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, plus great local coaches and players will also be featured. We want to hear from you, your opinions. RCN Sports Talk at RCN.com, our email address, and we'll read your comments live on our upcoming shows. It's RCN Sports Talk Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. through the spring and summer months. continuing on RCN4. Are you sure you don't want to say anything about Dick Tracy at this
No.
point? Okay.
Nothing to say.
Final 8 seconds. Hughes getting tied up. Back to Salerno, a healthy 3, no good. The follow by Kohler, and the tip is also no good. Notre Dame with 3 looks, but doesn't get the basket. They do lead at the end of 3 quarters, despite a pair of field goals by Chris Ewell, 25-22.
Hey, basketball fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus for the fabulous GE tip-off sale. Browse our huge selection of GE ranges, GE refrigerators, GE dishwashers, GE washers, and GE dryers. Now at Kleckner's, get great savings plus free delivery, free haul away of old, a full parts department and their own factory-trained techs. Stop in today. See why Kleckner's has been serving the Lehigh Valley since 1945. 2 locations, Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Since the Overhead Door Company makes the original overhead door, the people who install and service them take them pretty seriously. Call or log on for the overhead door dealer nearest you.
Along with Dennis Lobb, Chris Michael, and Easton, start of the 4th quarter between Notre Dame and Salisbury, playing for the 2A boys district championship, and a discussion going on now at midcourt. Not quite sure what it's about.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine on that one. And probably a possession arrow issue.
Since Coach Tracy's here, he should inform us of what's going on.
He should be the sideline reporter and go up there, and maybe he's going to handle the post-game interviews.
That would be nice.
Wow. Give him the mic. Get him ready.
Salisbury with the basketball to start the 4th quarter. A little give and go. Shot was blocked, taken by Roth. Salisbury will have it back.
Was a beautiful pick and roll play. Run out of that timeout deal.
Nice little windmill layup for Tommy Bonser, his first basket of the 2nd half.
Very gutsy for 5'10". He doesn't play it, that's for sure. He goes where people don't normally go that size. Afraid of nothing.
Salerno hitting his first 3-pointer of the ball game. Up to the Notre Dame lead, back to 4.
Salerno ran from the corner off 2 staggered screens to free himself.
His 42nd 3-pointer of the season. Nice look inside for Sean Roth, his 3rd field goal. Salisbury hanging tough, down by 2. It
was all Kyle Leonard's penetration that found Roth open, and he quickly released it.
A long 3 for Salerno, misses everything. Kohler chases it down, but kicks it right back to DePoy. Six and a half left to play. Inside, it's Roth posting up. Sponsor down the lane, and Giangiobi collects the rebound. Stolen by Bonser against Giangiobi. Count the basket and the foul.
Wow. He's just like, he is greased lightning, Chris. He reaches right across Rossetto, draws the contact on Giangiobi, and puts it up there.
Bonser 0 for 1 from the free throw line tonight. Notre Dame looking to make a substitution. And now they do. Max Hughes will check in. Piazza back to the bench. Salisbury takes the lead. They last led 17-16 late in the first half. Sponsor and Ewell now lead Salisbury with 9 each. That's for 2. Hughes on the rebound, gets fouled. Leonard picking up the personal.
Senior Max Hughes stepping up when the time is right. Gets in there and gets that offensive rebound.
Leonard picking up his first personal foul. Hughes now with 5 with one more free throw coming up. And Vermitzak back in for Pat Boyle's team. Notre Dame now 6 of 11 from the free throw line. After starting 2 for 6. Ball goes out of bounds. Salisbury will have it back. Sponsor, a first-team Colonial League player. And a foul on Salerno on a reach around. His first. 15th foul.
It's amazing, Chris, with 5.5 minutes to go, 30-29. Both teams are playing man-to-man. You would think man-to-man defense brings out high scoring, but actually both of these teams are really going after each other defensively, and it's just been a low-scoring ball game, as is the first game we had.
Nick Piazza back in for Notre Dame. Both teams in the Liberty-Stroudsburg game just did get out of the 40s with some last-minute baskets. This Ewell now in double figures with 11. Salisbury up by 1.
Beautiful penetration feed, though, from Bonser.
Hughes draws the contact. Leonard picks up his second foul of the quarter. Second of the ball game, and Hughes to the line. Max, a 67% free throw shooter. Came in first or second on the team at points, three-point shots, assists, and steals. And he makes the first of 2. And Vermitzak getting some instruction from Pat Boyle. He's now 4 of 4 from the line, 8 points overall. Notre Dame back up by 1. Roth inside, gets doubled. Now triple team. And a reaching foul on the Crusaders.
They're going to get Giangiobi from coming from behind. Hughes was close to the ball. Giangiobi reaches behind him, and they're going to get that every time.
That's his third. 16th foul on Notre Dame. DeBoy kicks it back to Leonard. Good crowd on hand as people continue to file into the Shawnee Middle School gym. Salisbury turns it over. Tommy Bonser back in for Salisbury.
Kyle Leonard had a few lives on that play, and after about 3 of them, he ran out of it and turned it over.
Kohler back in for the Crusaders. They lead by 1. Hughes lost a handle and Salisbury will have it back. Falcons defeated the Rough Riders to get to the championship game. Notre Dame defeated Schuylkill Haven.
That's Notre Dame's only their second turnover of the second half. Where Salisbury has 7 turnovers.
And Bonser lost the handle.
Make it 8.
We've seen 3 straight rather unforced turnovers here in the last minute.
Well, you're going to figure down the stretch here in the last 3.5 minutes, Hughes and Bonser are going to handle the ball and make a majority of the plays down the stretch.
Salerno working against Bonser. Giangiobi against Yule. Draws the contact, and that is the 4th foul on Chris Yule.
Don't know about that one. Giangiobi really looked like the aggressor on that. If we can get a look at it, I definitely saw that one the other way. Piazza back in for defense for Notre Dame.
Giangiobi makes 1 of 2. Again, great job by Mike Snyder, Elaine Arndt. Greg Hess has been working fervently today. All the people here at the Shawnee Middle School gym did a great job running this championship day of basketball. Shawnee Middle School hosting its first ever district championships as Sean Baker goes to the free throw line. One more to come for Baker. Salerno back in replacing Piazza.
A lot of trust Jason Weaver has in the 6'2" sophomore Baker to be in here late.
Notre Dame with the basketball, up by 2. Two and a half left to play. Who's fighting through a screen. Back to Giangiobi. A reach-in foul on DePoy, his second. Sixteenth foul on Salisbury. And Roth back in to replace Baker.
Still have 1 to go before Notre Dame will be shooting, and in anticipation they bring Rosetto in for mid-sack.
Hughes with the basketball, working against Leonard. Under 2 minutes left to play. Salerno against Bonser. Dribbles off his foot. Bonser the steal. And again, he was looking to draw the contact, missed an open layup. But Salisbury will have it back. Salerno a little slow in getting up.
Off Salerno's foot, and here you see Bonser taking it in. Thought he was taken out instead of going up and just shooting it. He's anticipating the contact, something my partner has talked about.
Salisbury missed a golden opportunity to tie this ball game. Now 90 seconds remaining.
Giangiobi is the smart one to handle the ball out here because you're not going to bring your big guy out there with 4 fouls.
Notre Dame with 10 district championship titles. Salisbury with 4 coming into today. And a foul committed by Leonard, his 3rd, team 7th. And a bonus situation now for both teams. Ritzak and Piazza back in for Notre Dame. Salerno to the bench. Rossetto also sitting down for Notre Dame. This will be the 10th free throw attempt for Giangiobi tonight. Still a one-possession ball game.
Again, with a minute, I don't go for the 3. I go for the 2.
Shot was blocked. However, Roth also drew contact and will go to the line. Kohler picking up his 3rd foul. Team's 8th. Roth in the act of shooting, a 55% free throw shooter on the season, makes the 1st of 2. Salisbury could cut it to a 1-point ball game with a made free throw. Notre Dame 34, Salisbury 33. Timeout called, 53.7 seconds left.
2 big foul shots there. Step up there and hit them. What is this game going to come down to, Mr. Michael, again? The foul line.
And both teams have shot better here in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, they could only go up because that first half wasn't so good at all. I mean, 2 for 9, 1 for 6. Those aren't numbers that championship caliber teams are shooting. But this half, they've really picked it up.
Coming up next on RCN, live coverage of Central Catholic versus Bangor in girls action, playing for the 3A title. And then they'll clear out the gym. And tonight coming your way at 8 o'clock, live coverage of Parkland versus Pocono Mountain East for the 4A Boys Championship. That will follow Lafayette American basketball. Notre Dame up by 1. Looking at full court press. And instantly fouled was Max Hughes. And Hughes tonight is 4 of 4 from the stripe. All of his free throws coming in the second half. Piazza and Midsack back in. Notre Dame looking for its 3rd victory this season over the Falcons, as Hughes makes the 1st of 2. They defeated Salisbury 61-51 and then 60-49. Hughes had a game-high 19 points in the first meeting. Giangiobi had 20 to lead the Crusaders in the second meeting. Hughes now at 10 points overall, 8 in the second half. You still go for 2?
Yes, it's not a rush situation. Plenty of time.
And a reach-in foul on Midsack, his 2nd, 9th team foul.
Pat Boyle wanted a little bit of an act call. Of course, Jason Weaver is happy at the foul called.
Monster to the line. He's 0 for 1 from the line. Check that. He is 1 for 2 from the line tonight. Clock is stopped with 36 seconds left. Kohler the rebound and gets fouled. Kohler's 1 for 2 from the line tonight, a 67% free throw shooter, and he can make it a 2-possession game. He makes the first.
The trouble with Kohler, though, I'm not sure how many free throws he shot. You know, in the last, he was only released just this week. So his other teammates shot probably about 300 more foul shots than he did.
Salisbury can tie with a triple. 30 seconds left. Sponsor with a basketball. And we have a foul on the floor. Looks like they're going to call it on Giangiobi. That would be his 4th.
And there's some clock. They had a clock issue there. From the time the whistle would blow till now, they took about 3, 4, 5 seconds off.
Both teams will come over to their bench. I mentioned the game staff here. That is a tough scoreboard to operate. It has all the players on the floor along with fouls. And
we'll get a look at it here. And right now, okay.
About 4 seconds.
24, and they're only giving them, should be 4.3, and they're only giving them 2.7. They should come over here and get a look at our clock camera here.
They come over near us. Dick Tracy will throw some cookies.
Yeah,
out.
he'll throw candy or cookies or something. I don't know. When you talk about a person with deep pockets, wow. I don't know if anything's left in that hospitality room. He loaded his pockets up.
Sponsor at the free throw line. His team trailing by 3. 22.7 on the clock. And he makes the first. When we talk about free throw shooting, it's a whole other ball game when you get to this point in the ball game making free throws. But it is still important.
Yeah, he made up for that last 1-and-1 miss he had.
Salisbury gets the rebound. They could tie with a deuce, win it with a 3. On the baseline, we have a foul call, and it's against the Falcons, and Notre Dame will get it right back.
Get a look at
I think from that view, it was the right call.
You could see his arm, but previously, I don't know if Joe had his feet in position.
And another foul called on Salisbury. Remember, if that foul would have gone against Giangiobi, he would have been done. That last foul on Roth was his 4th.
Get a look at that. Oy.
And that foul on Leonard is his 5th. So his night is over. He will leave with 4 points.
But a bunch of assists. His speed and penetration early got Salisbury rolling. And he, you know, it's a shame he fouled out here. But he's worth more than those 4 points.
He was caught in limbo now. The rest of his teammates over by Pat Boyle. He wanted to come over, and players just waved him off, said, just concentrate on these free throws here. If he makes both, it's a 2-possession game. Max Hughes has been golden from the free throw line here in this second half.
Senior all-star players are always going to step up in these situations, Chris. And that's the guy I want to have the ball for Notre Dame.
10 seconds. Salisbury needs to score twice. For 3 is good. And a timeout called with 3.6 seconds left. A 1-point ball game. Do you even let Notre Dame inbound the ball here, or do you commit a foul with the dead ball?
You have to foul dead ball. And here, sponsor to John Whistler, who just came in for Kyle Leonard, who fouled out. He comes into the ball game a little cold and gets hot. First shot, corner pocket, nailed it. Gives him a fighting chance with 3.6. Foul's got to be committed right away. The trouble is Pat is going to put all his best free throw shooters in.
Liberty won game 1 tonight, beating Stroudsburg. Darren Hilliard, a 3-point shot with 2.5 seconds left to win it. For Liberty, they move on to the state playoffs. Both Salisbury and Notre Dame will move on to play next week. The district championship gold is on the line. Giangiobi, Salerno, Kohler, Rosetto, and Hughes come out. They do inbound, and they don't foul right away. They fouled Giangiobi, but with 1.7 seconds left.
He shoots 2. What do you do?
Yeah, now you only have 1.7 left.
I would tell him to miss the second one.
Well, Pat Boyle's telling the other 4 players, don't even bother coming up. He makes the first. Salisbury would need a field goal just to tie right here.
If he misses it, the clock's going to roll until they get the timeout called or a desperation heave. You walk out of here with a win.
He makes it. Salisbury now needs a triple just to tie. From half court, off the mark, and Notre Dame wins 40-37. Our second half brought to you by Power Realty. The Crusaders, leading by 1 at the half, win by 3, and capture their 11th district title.
Good ball game. Good ball game. It's one of these games where, you know, there's no losers out here today. There's no question about it. And just hard-fought game. They didn't go up in the 60s and the 50s like they did when they played each other during the season. But a 40-37 tight ball game. Notre Dame comes out on top. Pat Boyle in those odd years, Chris, he just finds a way in the odd years to get it done.
Pat Boyle's 4th district championship as head coach. Lehigh Valley Installation leading scorers, Joe Giangiobi with 15, Max Hughes with 13, Chris Ewell leading Salisbury with 11, Tommy Bonser with 10. And we'll take a break. I'll take a break. I'm going to go and try to get some post-game interviews. We'll leave you with Dennis.
Incidentally, the winner of this game, Notre Dame, gets District 4's number 3 team. And now we're going to go to our Yakos player of the game, Max Hughes. Did a little bit of everything this ball game. Here he's driving to the hole. Played great defense. Main contribution to Max Hughes. He holds that team together. He hit the free throws when he needed to. And he was big for them tonight. And now we're going to go to Chris.
Great ball game. What was it like going to the free throw line in that second half?
Well, I just wanted the ball because I've been struggling from the foul line, and I felt like I was letting my teammates down by doing that. So I just wanted to go out here and try to do whatever I could to get us the win.
What's it been like for you? You had a lot of injuries the last couple of weeks, but you battled through them.
Man, it just feels great because I love all these guys over here, and it's awesome feeling to finally have everyone back and finally see what our potential is.
All right, your teammates want you to get some medal. We're going to send it back over to Dennis. Thank you, Max Hughes. We'll send it back over to Dennis and try to talk to Pat Boyle here. Pat Boyle is getting congratulations. Can we talk to you real quick there, Pat? Congratulations, 4th District Championship. Does this one rank any higher than the others?
You know, they're all special. These guys have been through an awful lot this year, through injuries and sickness. And over Christmas, I really thought that we could play with anybody in the entire Lehigh Valley. And then things kind of came apart for us. We had guys dropping like flies. Luckily, it's as healthy as we've been. And our guys were unbelievably excited to play in this game today. And hopefully we can continue success in the state tournament.
With all those injuries and everything that happened the last couple of weeks, what was the attitude of the kids?
You know, I think as much as a coach, we want to try to keep the kids positive. As much as we tried to do that through all the things that were happening, it got to be tough. And I think it was beating our kids down. We had kids playing sick, and they were miserable because they weren't playing well because they didn't have the bounce in their step. And we still weren't 100% today. And our guys found a way to win, and they gutted it out, and I'm really proud of them.
Joe Giangiovi and Max Hughes, the leading scorers tonight. Talk a little bit about their career at Notre Dame.
Well, I mean, they're 2 first-team All-League players, and Max, I could tell in that 4th quarter, really wanted to put us on his back, and I was trying to almost reel him back in a little bit because we have a lot of good other players on our team, but he made some huge plays down the stretch. And Joey Giangiovi, thrilled to get the coach in for another year. He's certainly going to be one of the best players in our area next year. We're hoping to see him play a couple more games this year and try to extend Max's and Nick's and Andrew Mitzak, hopefully extend their careers a couple more weeks.
Thanks so much, and good luck in states next week. All right, Pat Boyle, the head coach. Notre Dame wins its 4th league title under Pat Boyle, and I believe that will wrap up our coverage. Notre Dame wins at 40-37. Stick around. We have Central Catholic coming up next as they take on Bangers in 3A Girls Championship basketball action. For Dennis Lauber, Director Chris Popick, and the RCN Sports crew, I'm Chris Michael. Stick around. More basketball coming your way next on RCN Sports.